And now, ladies and gentlemen, Don't Tell Mama is proud to present Seth's Broadway Chatterbox.
How many hearts do we have so far on Periscope? How many hearts? One heart. We have fewer. Okay. So yeah, filming, periscoping, playable.comming. So we're here with the two people from Act of God, the show that is running on the Broadway. I'm doing everything to keep that show running, even though they're closing in 3 weeks, so there's no actual purpose for me promoting the show. But we have two fabulous Jewesses that star on the show. Please welcome to the stage Tim Kazurinsky and David Josefsberg. Big energy. That's it. All right. So here we go. So David, you are the standby?
Standby, yes.
Please describe to my live audience on Periscope what standby is.
I stand by.
Now, Tim. No, so
You're a man. Stand by, you're a man.
I cover some of the roles in the show, and if they're out, then I go on. Like Mr. Kazurinsky is going to be going away for one of the days, and I will be going on.
Hey, when's that going to be?
Next Tuesday. You can see him next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, Periscope.
Hey, Periscope. So wait, so you cover Tim Kazurinsky, you cover Christopher Fitzgerald, and then do you secretly cover Jim Parsons?
Yes, I cover Jim Parsons.
If Jim Parsons calls in sick, they cancel the show.
I was going to say, they don't really have a cover.
Well, no, because the show is, it's about God coming down in the form of Jim Parsons, and if I came out and said, I'm Jim Parsons, people would...
It would close earlier than it's even planning on closing? Okay, bravo. So, have you gone out for Chris? Oh, Chris is out right now, isn't he?
No.
Oh, he's not out? Oh, so have you gone out for him yet?
I have not, but there's some talk that I might be going on for him as well this weekend.
Isn't it hard to learn the parts of people that are constantly talking to each other?
You know what? I kind of find it to be, I like it better that way, because you sort of know what's going on. I like doing that.
Do you memorize it like, I memorize the whole script, or I memorize one role all the way through, and then memorize the other role all the way through?
I do have to put it in my head as one person at a time.
So now are you, like in Wicked, they have like the cover room where upstairs they're constantly doing Defying Gravity. Are you backstage just literally doing Tim Kazurinsky's lines, like in the wings, mimicking, and like...
I have done it upstairs, usually, in my dressing room.
And you just
because there's only 3 people in the show, and we're in a big theater, so I...
You find them a nice dressing room.
A giant dressing room, the chaise lounge, it's really nice.
Is it your nicest dressing room yet?
Yeah, it's the nicest dressing room.
All downhill from here.
Yeah.
So please describe what An Act of God is about for this audience, because not everyone has seen it yet. It just basically opened.
An Act of God was written by David Josefsberg, and it's about God coming down in the form of Jim Parsons and giving a new 10 commandments.
So David Josefsberg is a comedy writer from Daily Show.
David Josefsberg is
He has 13 Emmy Awards.
13.
13.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard the...
He's from God? He has a Twitter account where
Yes.
he plays God. Well, he is God, and it's God's Twitter account. And he's been doing that
Really smart.
for a number of years. I believe he has like 3 million followers. It's crazy.
And he only follows one person. And I think it's... Who is it? Is it like Donald Trump? It's something like really inappropriate. He follows literally one person. But I just saw Hedwig, and Darren Criss added all these jokes to the show. And he says, as Hedwig, he's talking about seeing Broadway shows, and he goes, I'm very happy about An Act of God. The fact that Mamma Mia is finally closing. He still got it. So Kazurinsky, who do you play in Act of God?
I play the angel Gabriel, one of 2 archangels mentioned in the Old Testament.
And does each angel are they both specific personalities, or are they both just sassy wisecrackers?
No, we are completely different people. Chris Fitzgerald is the young, cheeky, snappy, talkbacky angel, and I am the complete suck-up sycophant. I've been in God's henchman for years, and I just do, I'm an ass kisser, basically.
And did you have to audition for the part, or was it offer only?
It was actually offered on me.
That's delicious. And who actually offered it to you, Jabberbound?
I have
on Broadway one
no
day?
idea who was behind it, but I had just finished 14 months on tour with Wicked, and I was heading home, and my wife was like, "You're what? You gotta get it," and I was like, I gotta go do this. It's New York. It's Broadway. I've never done a Broadway show. I gotta go.
It's your first Broadway show,
My
wow.
first Broadway show, yeah. My wife, by the way, made her Broadway debut in 1974. 41 years before me, she did 5 Broadway shows.
Wow.
She was in Chorus Line. She was On Your Toes.
What's your wife's name?
And I'm Marsha Lynn Watkins, and I'm like, are you gonna begrudge me? You know, my bucket list Broadway debut,
And a 7-week run? No, wait, back to your wife for a second. Wait, she did Chorus Line, On Your Toes, what else?
Good News.
Oh my God, old school.
Yeah, that was her first with Alice Faye, Stubby K, Dennis Day.
Yes.
Her first job was in 1971, fresh out of school, like a month out of small town in Michigan, and she got the national tour of No No Nanette with June Allison, who was then replaced by Mitzi Gaynor.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's worked with a lot of...
No, Nanette. Now, is that the one with Sandy Duncan? No.
Ruby Keeler and
Ruby
That's the
Keeler.
boyfriend.
Ruby
Wow,
Keeler.
wow, and how did you meet?
She said she made an extra $25 a week walking on a giant beach ball.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Sarah Louise Lasser was in that. Wait, how did you meet your wife? Were you in dance ballet class?
I was doing Saturday Night Live. I was on 81, 2, 3, 4, and she was doing On Your Toes. She was understudying Frankie Frayne, where the
Christina Andreas, the character Frankie Frayne, the character. Wow, she sings too, bro.
There's a small hotel.
Yes.
So I got a guy a job as a writer, and he kind of showed up as an apprentice writer on the show, and was her roommate, and she was engaged to somebody else, and I was almost engaged to somebody else, and for 6 months he drove us crazy trying to fix this up, and we went, shut up, shut up, shut up. Finally, we agreed to meet for a drink to shut him up, and 4 weeks later I proposed, and 3 weeks later we got married.
Oh my God, it's lasted this
3 months
long?
later, yeah. That's 31 years, yeah.
That's amazing.
Everybody at the wedding said, it's never gonna happen. 31 years.
How did this guy know that you guys were right for each other?
I have no idea, but he was a pest, and I actually just married he and his wife, Susan Messing, a Chicago improv gal.
Wow, you're a certified minister or something?
I pretended to be a universal life minister, and I married them in Chicago.
Don't you have to actually be one?
Well, they married actually a week before in Justice of the Peace, and we fooled everybody at the wedding. They thought I was the real deal.
Why don't you just take the
I'm an actor.
Why don't you just take the 5-minute course and just become one?
I didn't have to find out.
Lazy ass. Okay, all right, so Josefsberg.
Yes.
Have you ever stood by before?
I have.
For what?
Well, I sort of stood by for Motown.
You did?
The
For
White
Stevie
Fellas.
Wonder? Oh.
Hey-o!
Wait a minute, I
That's a
didn't know
joke in my
that.
show.
Oh, wait. David Josefsberg, Periscope.
Periscope.
For the one, what did I just call you,
Jabbermouth? I'll take
you're
his
all
money.
Jews. Periscope for the One Heart. So David's coming up at 54 Below on August 3rd. I already tried to get out of it by saying, no, August 2nd? When are you?
August
2nd. You August 3rd? I was like, I'm in LA. Anyway, I'm probably not in LA, but I'm still not going. But what is this? August 3rd at 54 Below, and it's all David. So wait, so you stood by for Motown. Talk about that. So wait, there's a lot of roles, so they're
There
all sort
were
of annoying.
4 white folks. So most of I didn't do too much, I'll do the joke as I do it in the show. So most of you know that I was in Motown, thank you very much. And I covered the 4 white guys, so I didn't do too much dancing and not much singing, and my acting consisted of being all the Jewish lawyers and the Southern racists. Wait, there's one other joke there. What's the other joke? Southern racists and... I can't remember the joke now, but then I say...
Remember it's August 3rd.
And the only thing that I told them I was always ready to go on for Stevie Wonder. And I start singing the song.
Oh, shit. Oh, and that's your cue. What do you sing?
Yeah.
Science Delivered?
Science is delivered. I'm young!
Still got it. Okay, so hold on a second. So you covered all the white guys in Motown. Did you have to audition for it, or they just like he's the whitest, most Jewish looking? He's picked, like just based on a headshot.
I did have to audition for that. I didn't have to audition for an acting
Wait, she's
job.
literally wearing. First I was like, religious fanatic?
2.
But it's not religious fanatic. It's literally like, I saw God. She's actually a fan of the show. First
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, they're protesting marriage equality. Okay, excellent. Great to see you. Okay, backtrack for a second. I'm sorry.
It was crazy. They made me sing like 2. I had to sing. I sang "Science is Delivered" and I sang
Wait.
What's that Boys to Men song? How goodbye, say goodbye. And they don't sing in the show. I don't sing at all in the show, but they made me do that. I had to dance. They made me read Ed Sullivan.
No,
That's what
not
happened.
but basically the same.
Yeah.
There was no reason for any of it. So did you ask? First of all, when you were a cover for Motown, did you have to sing off stage? Sometimes they make covers do that.
No.
So in the old days, covers used to get to just literally walk around the neighborhood within 10 blocks of the beeper. What did they do? Oh.
No, for Motown I wasn't really allowed to do that, but for this show, I am allowed to like walk around. If there's no beeper, just cell phone, but I'm allowed to be 5-10 minutes around. Actually, right after this, instead of going to an act of God, I've already signed in. Wait, who's listening to this right
Wait, that's so illegal.
Hi, one Periscope personnel. This isn't my stage manager.
Because you're not signing in half hour, so you signed in 2 hours.
And then I'm
Okay,
going
go on.
upstairs at 54th Street to practice for my show.
Oh, because that's close enough.
Yeah, I can get down and...
Do you have cell service? That would be
I hope so.
devastating.
That's why I was charging my phone over there.
Oh, I just heard the worst cover story. I told you yesterday at my show. I somehow remember being in cover back in the days before cell phones. I did the show called Logan Family Picnic. But what was the name of the boy that played the little kid? I know Jason in Falsettos in the '90s. Remember the little Jewish boy? But anyway, so I did Logan Family Picnic with him, and it was this musical with Peter Freeman. We ran for 2 months in Manhattan Theater Club, and there was a really sweet kid who covered him, and he never went on for the final matinee. He signed it, and the kid was on. He was like, "Peace out, went to go play ball," and the kid had diabetes and had like a sugar, like couldn't do the show, and the kid was in Central Park playing baseball the whole show, and it was before cell phones, so it was like his one chance to go on, and we had to literally cancel the Sunday matinee. Isn't that devastating? So I'm just telling you, keep your blood sugar level consistent and buy a cell phone. All right, Kazurinsky, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Sydney, Australia.
How come?
I,
Well, you sound like an old Jew from the hood. Why were you in Australia?
I'm not Jewish.
What?
I just played one on
Kazurinsky.
TV. I know.
Wait, the speaking voice, the look, the cheapness. Wait, so go on.
Everyone thinks I'm Jewish. It's fine. It hasn't hurt my career.
But literally the way he literally talks about Jewish than I do. Okay, so you grew up in Sydney, Australia. Wait, now why were you there?
My mother was an Australian war bride. She had one child there. After the war, four kids in 5 years in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Then left my old man. Went back to Australia with 5 babies. I was 2 months old. I grew up there until I was 16.
So you were
and I
born in
ran away.
Pennsylvania?
Born in Pennsylvania, left at 2 months old, and at age 16, I quit school at 15, got a job, saved up, came to America at 16. And I've
Wait,
been
what
here.
the hell was it like in Sydney, Australia? I know that the water goes like that, but like what up, right? Does the water go in reverse? Anybody?
Your money goes down the drain the other way, Joe.
It's really expensive. It's so stupid. I was there for like a week, but it was a really cool town. But it just seemed like, yeah, I did a show with whatever. But who's that famous Kate Blanchett? She has a
Kate
theater
Blanchett?
there.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has a theater there. But anyway, so what was it like growing up there? Like, is it different than growing up in America?
Well, first off, I was born in 1950, so I grew up with radio, which probably is why I became a screenwriter later in life. TV didn't come till I was about 8, so I grew up with all this radio stuff, in which when a family of 7 sat around, you watched radio. You were the casting director, the lighting designer, because
all
radio,
visual?
you made it all in your head.
Wow.
And I would tell my brothers and sisters when they came home from work or cricket or rugby practice what happened in their episodes, so I kind of became a storyteller, and that's why I became a screenwriter. I was a screenwriter.
Cricket and rugby, you really did grow up in Australia. It's like, who the hell ever heard of those words? Now wait, where did your accent go? When did it become Portugal?
I was 16. I got rid of it because I stuck out like a sore thumb. I was very shy.
So what would it sound like if you actually were speaking like you really want to speak?
Bloody hell, g'day mate, I'll stand the crowd. But at the same time, Mel Gibson was a 12-year-old American boy, and his crazy Opus Dei, Catholic fanatic father took the entire family to Australia. He was a 12-year-old American boy. He grew up in Australia, got rid of his American accent, and everyone thinks he's an Aussie, but he was 12 years old before he went there.
Oh, another Nazi party was in Australia. We'll go back to that in a second. So wait a minute, so you go into Sydney, did you see any traveling theater when you were there? They have theater now in Sydney.
There was no theater. There were like 3 television stations. I didn't see theater until I came to America. First show I saw was in Chicago, 1969, Hair.
Oh my God. That's the famous people in it
theater I
too.
ever saw, and I was like, went crazy. It was an amazing show.
Do you still have your playbill?
I know I did, no.
Like a lot of famous people did the Chicago production. I wish you had it. I think like Meatloaf did that. Like a lot of really famous people did the 69 production.
Maybe Joe Montana, Joe Montana was in it, but some people were in was Godspell around that time?
Godspell was 1970.
70, yeah, that was around the same time.
Oh my God.
But it was an amazing, and I still love that show. It's like,
And when you ran away to Australia, were you literally like, I'm running away? Or were you like normal? Like was it literally like
no, both my parents were drunks, and the whole nation was drunk. Australia was a very drunk country at that time, and I had an ulcer, and I was just,
You were an old Jewish man. I mean, it's crazy. It was an ulcer. Besides an accountant.
So I said, get away, your father's crazy, whatever. And so I just got away. I went and stayed, I got to America and stayed with 2 Polish aunts in Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
How did you get to America?
Mary Simkovich and Aunt Anna Petinato. Woo! And it was crazy.
How did you get there? Did you swim? Like, how did you get there?
Oh, fly. It was the 707 was a new thing, and it would make it to Fiji, and then it would make it to Hawaii.
Oh, you had to refuel.
Refuel everywhere.
How
yeah.
nauseating
Now
was it?
they're flying gas tanks.
But was it totally nauseating?
No. It was exciting. It was an
And how did-
adventure.
how did
Well, but Johnstown was like, It was such a depressing. U.S. Steel, Bethlehem Steel, the coal mines. This is where they did slap shot, all the right moves. Yeah, you know, just
The classic
a very
depressed
depressing
town.
night.
But
Yeah.
how did you know the old Polish maiden aunts would take you in?
Because I wrote them a letter and said, "Can I stay with you? The only people I know in America. Can I?" And yeah, so I was there about 2 years, 66, 68, and then I fled. A girl broke my heart, and I fled to Chicago in '68. I've been in Chicago ever since.
Did you graduate high school?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
In Johnstown?
In Johnstown, yeah. I quit school, but I went back to school and finished high school.
Did you go to college?
Then I went to college in the Midwest. I went to the University of Pittsburgh, then my junior college, and then 2
Really?
years of Then there was a
Heart,
big,
an applause.
there was the Tower of Learning there,
Yes.
and we call it the height of ignorance. Yeah.
And what did you major in?
Actually, I was a journalism major. I'd been a reporter in Pennsylvania, and then I got bored with that, and I switched to communications. I wound up in advertising. I was an ad man until I was 28. Leo Burnett.
You weren't like, I'm gonna be an actor one day? You were literally like, I'm an ad man. You weren't like coveting dreams of acting?
No. I took a class at Second City to better present my commercials in the ad business. And then Second City offered me a job. I went, well, I'll try this for a while. And then 2 years later, I was actually on Saturday Night Live. So it's crazy.
So when you did Second City, were you doing ad job during the day and Second City at night? Were you quit?
Oh, yeah,
so
we
you
could take
both.
classes there, yeah. And
When you were doing the show, the Second City show at night,
oh, no. I quit the ad business to do it because there's 8 shows a week.
oh, you weren't nervous about getting your ad job back?
I took like an 80% pay cut to go to Second City.
Yeah,
I saved up
so.
some money and I went, I'll try this for a year. And it was just so much fun.
What were your sketches?
This was not a CTV, it was Second City Stage in Chicago.
Don't they tour like these signature sketches?
George Wendt was in my cast,
Oh,
and
he's
I'm going back to do a show with George in Chicago now. He's my dear friend. And Mary Gross and Danny Breen and Audrey J. Neenan, who works in New York. But we're all friends to this day. Second City was an amazing place to work.
What about, aren't people like annoying and drunk in the audience and heckling?
It was a 350-seat theater. Everybody smoked. Everybody.
Wow.
And then you couldn't see the audience for the pall of smoke. And they had a smoke eater, I suppose, but it didn't work.
I remember smoke eaters.
And then the cast would go backstage in the green room and smoke. I'm like, that's like crazy.
But you never
Now
had,
it's all, nobody smokes.
it's not smoke free. But you never had to deal with harassment from the audience?
Oh no, drunks would yell out and we just deal with them, you know.
And-
Well, not as bad as with stand-up, but Second City was not as bad.
And you didn't do stand up, you did
Never did
you
stand-up in my
sketches.
life, no.
Now, speaking of which, now why did you never do Second City or Saturday Night Live when you're so funny? Did you ever think about it?
No, not really. I don't like stand-up. I did songs on tour with Stephen Lynch, sort of stand-up-y comedy, but although it was all planned, so I guess I didn't do stand-up.
You never did like a funny thing happened at the shul.
No, and I would have actually, I don't know why I never took those classes. I was always too busy singing.
Did you ever take any improv?
No.
You're very good at it.
I know,
I
he's
can tell you.
hilarious.
Yeah. We play backstage, and
I know,
he
but
beats me at cards all the time.
too nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
And why, when you're so funny, was your first big show Les Mis, which is the most unfunny show there is? What were you thinking?
I don't know. And it shaped my whole life.
It shaped your life?
Yeah.
Wait, why the puppet
No,
on the face? I was going to say, not at all. You were a nightmare.
Although I met my wife in Les Mis.
Who was she playing?
She was playing a Cosette understudy, and I was playing a Marius understudy.
So can you just...
Strangely enough, we're actually singing One Day More at my concert as well.
Is your four-person arrangement?
Oh no, I'm bringing up like 15.
All Les Misers?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I didn't tell them all yet.
Are you going to play... Oh, that's fun. Are you going to play Marius?
Yes, she's gonna play
Can you
Cosette.
please tell my Periscope audience about your tour and why I got in so much trouble? It was basically the tour of whores. Go.
The Les Mis tour was a bunch of young people and women who. Should I really tell this story?
You can tell.
Would like to be with each other and with the young men in the company. And as a 25-year-old young man, I wanted to experience life.
You wanted to Periscope it.
I wanted to Periscope it.
But a different version of Periscope.
So then they found out that there were things happening, but nothing with the show. The show was going perfectly well.
It was
but,
a pure 3 hours and 15 minutes, and then after that, anything goes.
Yeah. So we did on 2 show days, 7 hours of singing, and then we wanted to blow up some steam, and they heard about it back at the office, and they tried to fire some of us.
But I don't understand why, like, just because, like,
I don't know.
It wasn't on. It wasn't under the barricade or something. Was it?
No, it was that well, just that once.
No. So they said like you're being fired for being a hua.
Well, yeah, they said that it was going to start affecting things, and that they heard that we were. They made up some stories that we were shouting that we wanted that the director of the show was a bad person, not exactly those words, and so he was just trying to get onto us.
And then how did you not get fired?
Equity stepped in and said no, and actually you're going to have to pay them 2 weeks' salary for harassment. Yeah, Periscope.
So it all works. So the moral is, now is Act of God the same way? They're crazy orgies backstage.
Well, just the one, yeah. Opening night was crazy.
It was a crazy night. All right, so back to you, Kazurinsky. So you're with Second City. So how did Chicago transfer into SNL?
I was on stage at Second City 2 years, and unbeknownst to me, John Belushi had sent a guy named Dick Ebersol into Chicago to see me.
Really specifically you?
Yeah.
That's it. Now how did John Belushi know who the hell you were?
Because Jim Belushi was in my cast for a while, and then John came and did the Blues Brothers first, and that's when he kind of took a shine to me. And I never understood why, but then I later found out that like Marlon Brando and Wally Cox were friends. But I was screenwriting at the time while I was at Second City working on a movie called My Bodyguard. And so I was...
Wait a minute, was that with Matt Dillon?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You wrote that movie?
I rewrote the dialogue, yeah.
Can you set me up with Matt Dillon? Is he built?
And you know who was that? Who played the grandma? Ruth Gordon. So I got to write dialogue for Ruth Gordon, who with Garson Kanin had written Tracy and Hepburn movies, and it was a real thrill.
So they were like, "This movie sucks. Make it sound good."
Yeah. Well, the director Tony Bill came in and said, "The dialogue sounds so naturalistic at Second City. Can anybody punch up the dialogue?" And so I ended up rewriting all the dialogue in the movie with Denise DeClue, and then it was great. But John would come in at night and say, "Hey, we're going to go out." And I said, "I got to get up. I'm on stage and I got to do the writing thing in the morning." He said, "Let's go." You get me in a headlock, and we go off to a bar. And so we became really good pals. And then he came back and we did Continental Divide. And then he sent Dick Ebersol in, and he saw me, and then I got hired. I hadn't even auditioned for Second City, and then I got hired at Saturday Night Live without an audition.
Oh my God.
Unheard of.
So wait, so you got offered
Luckiest
Second
man in
City.
showbiz right here.
Wait, offered Second City out of the blue, and then offered Saturday Night Live also out of the blue.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Well,
And offered Act of God out of the blue.
Never had more auditions I've been rejected from.
Yeah.
All right, go back to
I'm the luckiest man in showbiz.
What was John Belushi like? Was he wild in real life
He was a
also?
wonderful and intelligent and smart and brilliant man. I think he and Eddie, the two funniest men ever at Saturday Night Live, two funniest players. The two of them, just raw funny. I would say Dan Aykroyd, probably best all-around sketch player, along with Phil Hartman.
Haven't heard any ladies' names mentioned.
There's a Gilda, and I'd say Gilda, Kristen Wiig,
I just
Tina
skipped
Fey,
50 years.
Amy Poehler. Yeah.
Okay, I'll still approve. Okay, so hold on a second. Now, I'm just fascinated with writing. Like when you would rewrite it, because now I have like a final draft. What would you do? Like liquid paper?
Typewriter, Selectric. When I was a writer actor at SNL for 4 years, there was no such thing as a computer. You used 2 sheets of white paper and a piece of carbon paper in the middle, and then you kept a copy and handed a copy in.
Yeah, it's so old school.
I know, and then you had the little ball that.
How would you make corrections? Because was it the
Whiteout.
It was Whiteout, right? Old school Whiteout. Remember Whiteout?
Yeah. Which was invented by
Mike Nesmith.
Mike Nesmith's mother. Yeah, the monkey's mother.
It was?
Mike Nesmith's mother invented whiteout. She became rich. Yeah.
And what did Romy and Michelle claim they came up with? Romy and Michelle said Post-its, right? Post-its. I remember that. That's so stupid. Okay, so back to you. So,
Yes.
almost fired, and you're like, you can't fire me, I'm marrying you. So you marry your wife instead. And then you do this whole Les Mis tour. And then what was your first Broadway show? I don't even know.
I believe it might have been Grease.
Oh, I remember you once discussed this with me. You said we did Grease together, and I have zero memory of doing the show.
Well,
with you.
first I did that Grease company that came in at the same time when there was 2 Grease companies on Broadway.
So you did this late in the run. We were literally on Broadway, and the national tour was out, and the national tour came to New York, even though we were on Broadway. So both, this is so stupid.
We were so much better.
Exactly. But wait, did you actually get an audience that night?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like during, what was it?
It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we were on Broadway with an audience. That's
For a
how
week.
popular that fucking show was.
Yeah.
So when you were on the tour, who were you, Roger?
Yeah.
And then when was it Marissa back then? Who was
Uh-huh.
doing it?
Marissa.
So Marissa was she Jan or was she still with you,
Jan.
right? And did you with Sutton?
I did it with Son, yeah. I mean, I didn't.
Well, Les Mis. Sutton did do Les Mis, but not that Les Mis.
No.
So hold on, this one Sutton was covering everybody. What did you do with her with Sandy?
I did it when she was Sandy.
She was amazing as
Yeah.
Sandy. She was
she
hilarious.
great. She was fantastic.
And who was your Jan? It was always somebody like 70.
Adrian Smith.
A little too over the rope.
I love Adrian
But
Smith.
adorable.
He'd be checking his pager on stage to check the scores of the baseball games and stuff.
Pager, this is back in the 90s,
Yeah.
people. So now that tour,
Chicago guy.
they always when did they always pull pranks on that tour? Do you remember any? I remember like when Doug Crawford left. Don't you remember the
I don't remember any pranks.
Do you remember the horrible the hand jive dance? There was that horrible. Remember the Gertie jog? Remember that horrible
Yeah.
the Gertie jog? So it was this hand jive was bad, but then they expanded it so it was like a lot of just hitting. So this one thing. All these stupid names for dance steps. It's called the Gertie jog. And I remember it was this really awkward thing where it was like down, down, up, down, in a circle. And it's horribly awkward looking, but it was the whole cast doing it. So like the whole cast was like down, and the girls would flip their skirts up, and it was really fun on stage. So when Doug Crawford left, he was playing Kaneki. So for his final show, like everyone decided like during that one dance to literally 100% A, stop doing it, B, point to Doug. So it was just a horrible thing where everyone's dancing something, he's like, and everyone's just like, aha, Kaneki. So it was amazing. This is the ugliest, stupidest step to do as a solo. I thought that maybe that was on Broadway, then it was on the tour. Anything happened on that tour I need to know about?
No, nothing like no, nothing.
Now, Roger is when he sings Mooning.
He does, yeah.
And so you played opposite Marissa.
Yeah.
What was that chattering like backstage? She's a chatterbox.
I love Marissa.
I know, she's a chatterbox. Because we did it together on Broadway.
Yes.
Because she even admits it. She would chatter the whole time. People were like, stop talking. She's like, shut up. And then she did hairspray. She's like, stop talking. Like once she had a lead role, she was like, everyone needs to shut the
Wait,
fuck up.
whoa. Roger and Jan are lead roles.
I guess you have an appearance in Act 1. Okay, whatever. I guess it's an ensemble
He
piece.
holds that note for like forever. Remember that note?
I'll stay.
Clap or crack.
Clap or crack.
Audience either claps or I'm cracking.
That's hilarious. That's stupid. All right, so back to you. So wait,
I
so
just saw Jim Jacobs in San Diego. He came to see Wicked.
the original writer of Grease. Oh my God, he still got it.
It
So wait,
started in Chicago.
so hold on. So you're John Belushi's like, oh look at this guy, and he's like, hey, do you want to do Saturday Night Live? And you're like, I guess. And then what happened? You moved to New York.
Yeah, well, he came back to Chicago. Actually, I'd been up working with John Candy for a season up in Canada. Lovely, lovely.
Wait,
man.
SCTV?
Yeah, no, it was called Big City Comedy. It just lasted one season.
And it was just John Candy as the lead?
John Candy, no, and 5 other sketch players. And it was a sketch comedy show, and it just...
What was he like? Is it also
He was
like...
the greatest guy. He's such a sweetheart.
So with he and John Belushi, who were so notorious for their excesses, were also actually really nice people?
Wonderful people, yes, absolutely sweet, giving, loving, smart, wonderful people. And I just saw John's widow out and John Candy's widow and his daughter. And I had actually, that year,
Wow.
Jennifer was born, and I just saw her in LA. She's now 35 and married.
That means we're both 80.
Okay,
so-
and both wonderful, wonderful guys. But then I'd come back to Chicago, and Ebersol came in and said, "Let's have a drink at the pump room." I'd go down, I'd get the free drinks, and I'd tell him, "Oh, you should get this Eddie Murphy guy and Joe Piscopo and Mary Gross." And then he says, "Well, I want you to work on the show too." And I went, "I just got a job as a writer at Saturday Night Live." And I'm like, I've got 3 gin and tonics in me, and I'm like, "Wow, this is so great!" And then he says, "Do you have your after card?" And I went, "Well, what do I need an after card for?" He said, "Well, everyone in the cast has to be after it." I went, "Cast? Did you say cast?" And he said, "Yeah. What do you think I hired you for?" I said, "As a writer." And he said, "You write?" It was the craziest moment of my life. I never even saw myself as an actor.
But you were performing in Second
I thought
City.
Second City was like acting on your feet. It was like, you come up with the scenes and stuff, and you make up the scenes. So I figured I'm writing, as George Wendt calls it, improv, the bastard child of writing and acting. So, and that's what I always figured, but I'm a writer in my head. I'm a writer. And I had no idea that I got hired as an actor.
So did you get to write on the show as well?
Yeah, I did. I did for all 4 years. I actually think I contributed more as a writer to the show than as an actor. But
Give me a crazy Saturday Night Live story.
Eddie Murphy, brilliant Eddie Murphy. Around the time of Martin Luther King's birthday becoming a national holiday, I wrote a sketch for Weekend Update about making it a national, the reason it should be made a national holiday, and asking people to send in postcards, which we ended up getting like tractor trailer loads full of postcards.
Really?
And so for the first, in the dress, and I wrote this piece, and it's a little hobby piece, and Eddie comes out, and he's got an attitude. He's got on a black leather jacket that's open, and there's no shirt and gold chains. And I'm like freaking, like I'm running through the thing going, what are you doing? Whoa. And I'm going, this is the dress. And I said, Eddie, I said, we're not doing this. I said, this is Martin Luther King. You're gonna put on a shirt, on a suit, and be nice. And it was like, okay. And he went out and did it on air and was brilliant. Just brilliant.
Well, what was he thinking?
He was like 17.
How old was he really?
He was like 17. It was crazy.
Really? He was literally a teenager?
He was a teenager. I remember we'd worked there like 3-4 years, and there was a party at Studio, they said, after the show tonight, party at Studio 54, where I'm working right now. And I said, whoa, what's the occasion? They said, it's Eddie's 21st birthday. And I'm thinking, I've been working with him for 4 years, and he's like turning 21. He was so young.
Crazy. Hold on.
But don't you think, weren't you watching this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, this is like the main time when we
Yeah,
were
that was
watching.
100%. Then I faded out afterwards. No, this is totally when we grew up together, even though when you did Godspell, you pretended you were 20 years younger than me. But totally.
Well, that's why it didn't really happen then. It happened later on.
That was when I got
Night
canceled. Oh, wait, if that's what he's before below, that's when I want to stop you.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Wait, this wasn't the hottest time, except for like, but there was the one brutal year that when Christine Ebersol was like, it was terrible, like the year Christine was on.
It was hard. It was a hard show to do. And Christine was great.
Yeah, Christine is amazing, but it was because is it that the writers were different? Like, why was that year so hard? Is that your first year?
That was the second. That was 82. 82. And it was really hard because who had been, Gene Domanian cast had been in.
Right, Gene Domanian.
A lot of people had turned off. There was a hiatus.
Because Lorne Michaels had left for
Lorne
a
left,
years.
and then Dick Ebersol took over, and people were just like, let's do something else now. And it was took a while for Eddie Murphy to, get
Materialize?
really discovered, and people realized that, they were tuning in for Eddie, and we helped. We
And Joe,
keep
my
the
God.
show alive,
Great.
and now it's gone 40 years. So
Right, I did with him.
yeah,
And what was it?
Dick Ebersol, who I used to wrangle with and stuff, but he was a really smart guy, and he kept the show alive, and it's gone 40 years now. So
Did they ever try to censor anything?
Good for Dick. Yeah, actually, I wrote a little sketch called a film for the show called Handicapped Hunters, because I thought, what could be more sick than handicapped people going out and killing things? And so I never got that made. Then a friend of mine made it years later. And after we made the short film, which you can get on YouTube, Handicapped Hunters, check it out on YouTube. Then he sent me this clip that in Indiana, there is actually an association of handicapped hunters.
Yeah, so there's actually no comedy at all. So, what about any host stories you can tell? They were all the biggest stars back then.
Yeah, well, there's the Robert Blake. I had a lot of problems with
Is this pre-murder?
Robert Blake was just a horror show, and I
Remember him, guys, Beretta, and then murdered his wife, and was like,
Yeah, right.
sorry, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's the reason.
But I had written this sketch with Michael McCarthy, and it was called Philosophers of Greece. But they were like grease balls, like greasy guys, like making, talking and these and them about like philosophical concepts. And he did not understand the sketch at all, which is like right over his stupid little head. And so when it came time to read the script and read through, he wanted me to say, well, then this, and this piece of crap. He said, I won't wipe my ass with it. And he did, and he wiped his ass with the script. And I went, that's it. I'm done. Don't put me in a sketch with him this week, because I'll kill him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you visited him in jail? That's not nice, Seth. Back to you. Wait.
What goes around comes around.
Sorry.
I always thought, I have a sketch that I always want to pitch for Saturday Night Live. It's called, it's like these Italian guys, and they're all, they're real tough, like they work at a barber shop, and it's called the Barber Streisand. And they're always, like, they're like, woo, 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 and they're like really into Barber Streisand. Yeah, I'm singing Evergreen. The Barber Streisand.
Why don't you just film it?
Well, maybe I could.
You just film it for
Don't
YouTube.
steal that, sir.
Periscope, sir. 1 heart. Not cool. How many hearts now? 3.
We have 2 viewers.
Hi, Mom.
I'm gonna advertise that better. It'll work out better. Okay, so wait, Dave, so first show was Grease, not really called the show. What was your actual next show?
Well, I kept going back and forth between Les Mis and Grease, so I did them both.
Did you leave us on Broadway?
Yeah, for a long
Oh,
time.
you did the nice short version.
I did the long 3 hours 15,
That's
and
what
I did the short version.
I never did the short. Wasn't the short so much
Oh,
better?
so much better.
That 3:15 killed me.
Yeah, it was deadly.
Now, remember it was like, you're doing it and then you're only up to at the end of the day. You know, like the hookers is that whole
yeah.
beginning, you're like, oh my God, it's all. Hold on, what did that flash mean though? Because don't I still have time? Or no?
10
This
minutes.
one has to leave. Oh, I thought this one had to leave early. This one has to leave
No,
early.
I
He's got 10 minutes.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Okay, both people are like, you're gonna have to leave it all. Okay, let's do
I don't know what he's talking. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's okay, so hold on. So wait, the 3 hour now. What did they want to? They cut some of the Gavroche shit, didn't they? Finally.
I don't even. I can't even remember what they cut.
And who did you get to play on Broadway?
I got to play Marius, but mostly I was. I did all the guys.
You don't have to do that.
You did all
But I was.
I almost got fired.
I was on the road for the first 16 months. I was Babet, the bullet maker, and he didn't even have a microphone for the second act.
I love musical theater. When did you finally kind of just give up on singing the second act?
Oh, after some of those late nights.
Were you just like, I'm out, and we're just living?
No, it was my first show. I sang every note, every beat.
Really? That's sweet. And did you know all the harmony? If you covered all those people, you know all the harmony, right?
Yeah. Well, there's only one specific person, but as I would, when I was in New York, I would cover different people, and then I would sing whatever harmony I felt like.
Really professional. Did you ever do Faye?
I never did Fuyi.
That's a crazy. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Horrible A.
They didn't trust me there.
Yeah. Crack or clap?
Yeah.
Crack. Okay, so Saturday Night Live after 4 years.
No, I did my
Yes,
first musical a couple of years ago, Hairspray. I played the dad, and then I got to be The Wizard of Oz and Wicked.
Yeah.
But I had no idea, and my wife had done musicals for 20 years. I was so unsavvy about musicals and big shows, and so I had no idea that like it'd be like backstage, and I'd go up and start talking to somebody, and I didn't know that they also worked when they weren't on stage. They sing back up off stage, and I'd be talking to somebody, and they'd be like, and then they'd be like,
Stop! No, don't! Yeah.
yeah, it was just shocked the hell out of me. It's like, oh, you're working? I didn't know. I'm sorry.
You're in front of a microphone holding music. All right, so who was your Edna?
Michael Aaron Lindner, and he was wonderful.
You did it on a.
And this was in Drury Lane in Chicago.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And Michael's was fabulous, and but George, my buddy George Wendt, did it on Broadway.
On Broadway.
Yeah.
And did you ever do the tour of Hairspray or just the tour of Wicked?
No, I just toured Wicked for 14.
So what the hell was like doing the tour of Wicked? That's such a mammoth effing show.
It's 16 cities in 14 months, and
your wife stayed in Chicago?
Huh?
Your wife stayed in Chicago?
Well, yeah, my wife stayed waiting in Chicago.
Why don't you get her a job as a munchkin or something?
Well, she was home with the kids, with my son, and working. She had a job, and I never thought about it, but I'd love to do a tour with her. It would be great. She toured in the early
Back in the day.
70s and 80s, yeah.
So you did how many cities and who?
16 cities in 13 months.
Oh, and did anything ever go wrong? Did the alphabet ever not fly or something, or fall off a broom?
The things would happen. The Oz head wouldn't turn around sometimes. A couple of times, people didn't show up on stage when they were supposed to be there, which was
Where were they, David?
There was a 1 minute gap one time before a needed performer came, and I actually got to improvise and vamp.
Wait, was the needed performer Louis Elphaba?
No, it was a Madame Marvel, who shall remain nameless.
Wait, so you were like, where is that woman? Like,
Yeah.
what horrible improv were you doing?
Yeah,
Were
we're
you-
waiting.
Oh, you like-
someone like her.
Were you doing like Second City? Like, give me a style.
Yeah. Do we have an occupation for you?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, and what happened? Because she's an older lady, but she's like,
How much we been? Well, then she got the microphone on, and then we exchanged dialogue a bit backstage. We vamped, but it covered the audience. The audience knew something was up.
and you did you ever make any mistakes?
No, I'm perfect. No, not in Wicked. It's only 17 minutes.
That's all he's on stage, not since the Phantom.
The Wizard. Phantom's 22 minutes.
How do you, Mr. Underwood, done a musical? That you know?
My director, I said I felt guilty. And he said, "Don't feel guilty." I said, "I'm only working 17 minutes." He said, "Phantom only works 22."
Now, what about you? How often do you work?
Right now, 0.
He's really off stage.
90.
Oh yeah, are you on the whole time?
Yeah.
Now, what's Parsons like?
He's great. He's really.
Give me a real answer.
No, he's nicer than God, right?
He's super, super nice.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying
Yeah.
that. He's so nice.
Yeah. A little too nice, actually. Just like.
Yeah, I hate how nice he is.
That's Parsons that?
Yeah. It's,
All right, so Kazurinsky, TV or film? Do you have any what's been your worst audition that you've had to go on?
the worst audition. I at 007 audition for a commercial. It was like.
To play James Bond?
Yeah. I'm like, what did you? What? It was a horror.
But you showed up. You obviously thought you could do
I was
it.
like, why did you put me?
And what did you wear?
Well, I just kind of slicked my hair back, but.
And then what did you have to leave with like Bond, James Bond? Like what did you have to do?
I just tried to be James Bond. It was like being suave and sophisticated and well.
Did you get it?
I got it. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
that was
it's a
your
joke. They shot it as a joke.
everything.
They shot it as a joke.
That was your worst audition, a triumphant audition. You understand the question? Call me. It was horrible, so I got it. Wait, what was horrible?
It's the other night lottery.
Right. Better audition is a horrible ending.
I'm there with like 12 male model tough guys, and I'm like, what am I doing?
So for a minute before it was depressing. After that, it was money. Okay, you're not.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an actual bad audition or no?
I would say, remember when Hedwig was here originally?
Yeah, at the Jane Street.
Yeah, I went in for that, and
You would have been great for that.
yeah, but everyone there was wearing like blue button-down shirts and jeans, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I went full on like white skirt and like short like Liza Minnelli hair. It was weird.
dress forward.
It was and like total full dress up. And everyone was there when I walked in. They were all. Wait, I did not get it.
Thank you.
So wrong.
Wait, did you see the show? Had you seen it beforehand?
Can't
Or you
remember
just-
now. Can't remember if I saw
you
it
were just
before or
like,
after.
This is a drag queen, so it's just like not even appropriate style. Wait, and what did you sing? Do you hear the people?
Yep.
What did you want to sing?
I don't remember back then.
And how did
Maybe
you?
Queen. Probably Queen.
When did you realize that they were devastating?
Which I'm also singing in my show at 54. But I'm sorry.
It's on August 3rd. I'll actually be in LA at Largo. Wait, so hold on a second. But I think August 2nd.
No, you won't.
When am I? August 2nd.
Yeah.
But I'm flying back. Oh, maybe I'm flying back August 3rd.
Okay, it doesn't matter. You're not coming to the show. What was your question?
I'm interested to see your shit. Wait, when did you realize that you made a horrible mistake?
Like basically as soon as I got to the room and there were all guys just dressed in their blue button-downs, and I was like,
Why would you like white?
oh, and I was wearing like these really like tight velour pants.
Ooh.
I don't know what was my wife's pants.
Can you talk?
No, I don't know. No,
No, it had to
I
happen.
didn't have to.
Wait. Okay, alright, so how much longer is Active God playing so I can promote this shit, even though you're basically sold out?
Until August 2nd?
Oh, and then literally your show's the next night.
Yeah, at 54 Blow, I'm sleeping in my dressing room, getting up.
Wait, I love it.
And we've
And
hardly talked about Christopher Fitzgerald.
oh, he's a nightmare. Wait, and for all of my
Love
video
Chris
fans,
Fitzgerald.
I do love Chris Fitzgerald. Give details again about your show. It's at 54 Below. When
54 Below, 7 o'clock, August 3rd,
you're
Monday.
doing comedy, you're doing
It's going to
music.
be comedy, there's going to be some music, there's going to be some special guests, there's going to be some off-color material that's really funny.
Any altar boys? I know.
If that gets people there, then yes, sir.
Yes. And then if you get there, you'll be disappointed.
Kevin Kern will be there, he's an altar boy.
Who's gonna be there?
Kevin Kern.
Oh, right. He was the cover.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Yes.
All right, so go see Act of God, go see this client. And by the way,
The actor got us at 50, 54, and then him at 54 below.
Yeah.
Look at it. He has to walk up, you know.
And by the way,
flight of
before
stairs.
Tim entered, shockingly, he was offered another musical, which I guess I can't reveal, but that is his life. Literally was waiting outside. He said, "It was my agent. I got an offer." So go see him in his next show. Because all you do is work. And
George
if,
went. I'm doing a show with George went in Chicago.
before the offer you just got,
Oh, yeah.
what's that, Tim?
It's called Funny Man, and it's based on
Eddie Bryce.
Funny Man is by Bruce Graham. It's a new work, and I guess Buster Keaton did. No, Bert Lahr did Waiting for Godot, and Zero Mostel did Rhinoceros. And this is George plays an aging actor, comedy star who's offered an absurdist play, and I'm playing his agent.
Oh, that's so
It's
fun.
a lovely conceit. Yeah, it's a good script. So and George and I will get to play together for a couple of months. It'd be really fun.
And it's in
We
Chicago?
get to hang in Chicago. Yeah, Northlight Theater in Chicago.
Everyone's impressed by the credentials. All right, so bravo, Act of God, bravo, fellow Jews, sort of. Thanks for coming, everybody.